Yo, what up everybody? It's your boy the Kryptonian Satan here, bringing you a review for One Piece Chapter 643. And as always, Oda always has some good information in the SBS corner. And the very last question caught my eye, right? It wasn't the question where Oda said that Nami was his rival. And it makes sense, because he said that, it's about centerfold proportions. He didn't put Nico Robin in there. There's a reason for that. Nico Robin, you guys gotta get this shit through your head, right? Nico Robin, that's not centerfold material. Nico Robin is the stuff that you put in like the prison where people are like being tortured and shit. That's what you give them. They look at Nico Robin for that. When you got those lonely nights in like the prison and the guy just got his hand in memories and some lotion, that's when you give him the picture of Nami and he take care of business, and he finishes with the biggest ejaculation ever. Like that shit is tremendously big. Like that's what you get when you get Nami. I'm trying to tell you, like that's a study. That's why they had those body pillows in Japan. I think that was like in volume, what's this, 50, 65, then somewhere around 55, where Oda said that the first One Piece body pillows were out and they were Nami. They didn't want Nico Robin. Nobody wanted that shit. So getting back into this. So the question though is, so Luffy Supreme King Haki can knock out 50,000. How many can Shanks knock out with his? Now, I like this because in this answer, it lets me know I've been downplaying Shanks a little bit. Oda says, if they were in the exact same situation as Luffy's, Shanks and Rayleigh could probably manage up to 100,000. You really can't compare how many in different situations. Defeating someone with Haki is a phenomenon that occurs only when the user is overwhelmingly more powerful than the opponent. Basically, it's showing how many of Luffy's opponents weren't even worth fighting. If Luffy facing 100,000 pirates of a certain strength, he might not be able to knock them all out with a single blow of Haki. By the way, training and practicing one's Haki of the Supreme King, you can pick out a few of the crowd and spare them from its effects. It makes sense because he's been taught to harness and hone it. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So with that out the way now, I do gotta say, I got that Shanks disrespect. Hashtag Shanks disrespect. Hashtag Rayleigh. Not that Rayleigh could take on the three admirals. So Shanks could drag his dick across their face, because when he showed up at Marineford, they said, oh shit, it's one-armed Shanks. Even though it's Shanks, just like he just catch this motherfucker in his blind spot and drive two swords at him. He can't block both of them. He only got one arm. It's like Luffy says, hey, double high five. Shanks says, fuck you, dude. Like, that's that shit. So with that being said, I'm gonna get into a chapter review now. Hold on. Yo, what up everybody? It's your boy the Kryptonian Satan here, bringing you a review for One Piece Chapter 643. And anytime you see me with the manga volume, you already know what time it is, right? There was a line in the passage, or there's like some series of events, some really beautiful artwork, and I said, hold on, I really gotta share this shit. So obviously that's what's happening right now. You get this line where I believe it's Prince Fukaboshi who is saying, I understand Hody Jones' true nature. And it's a continuation of the last time that we saw Luffy, right? And it's this huge build up. And I like how this was something I talked about in the last chapter review. But it's a continuation of it. And all these humans are... not humans, these fishmen are saying, I can't believe a human is doing this for us. And it's just hammering home that theme from the last chapter, right? And this is what we get. We get Fukaboshi, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. We get Fukaboshi, and he says, the new fishman pirates are monsters created by hatred. They live in fear of their ancestors' hatred being forgotten. Live in fear of the day that the anger at the humans is forgotten. They live in the hope that their holy war is just that humans are all evil. They desire blood. They do not even want peace for Fishman Island. This is good. This is good. This is really good. This is really good, because what I really like about this is the fact that Oda just went there. It goes back to what I've been saying for a very long time. Nobody's born knowing how to hate. So when we find out that Hody Jones is a a product of his environment, right? When Fukaboshi says Hody is a monster born from his environment, that goes into that whole belief that people are taught to hate. If you're continuously surrounded by hate, if you're continuously exposed to negative energy, negative emotion, that's exactly what you're going to get. And I like how Oda just introduced the human element into that. And it's so ironic. He's introducing the human element into creatures that aren't human. I mean, they're fishmen, but at the same time, like, they're not human like you and I. So I like that. That wasn't lost. That wasn't lost right there. Now, the other thing with this, and part of the reason why I find this as fascinating is it goes back to something that, you know, I personally know. Like, I remember one of my closest friends, right? One of my closest friends, Nicole, when we grew up and we're going through middle school and going through high school and everything, right? You know, getting real close to each other and everything. Typical shit, boy meets girl, etc., etc., etc. And one of the things that, you know, when we get to that point where we walk around the high school holding hands and all that shit, and we're, you know, talking, and she says, like, yeah, you know, my mom doesn't really like black people. And she's like, when you call, you know, I have a separate line in my room. Don't call the house number. Call this line. But if I hang up, you know, it's because somebody's coming in. And, you know, that's when I found out the different things. Like, she was like, yeah, like, you know, my mom, my grandma, they can listen. And they say they can just hear when somebody black is talking. And the whole thing is like, when she was getting brought up, she was getting taught, like, hey, you know, you don't associate with black people like that. You don't really talk to them. That ain't what you're supposed to do. And what changed her perception was actually getting around people of an ethnic background, because she used to do a lot of dancing. And because she did a lot of dancing, that's how she got exposed to, you know, a little bit of African American culture. But also, I mean, she just got to see that, you know, hey, we're not that different than you. And so the reason why I bring that up is, like, by all accounts, given the fact that her mom was super racist, a lot of people in the family were super racist. Like, deep, dirty, down south, in the part of the south that if you're like an African American, it's bad history there. Like, that type of shit, right? And what I find very interesting is that somebody from that background should have been able to hate. And yet, what ends up happening is, through interactions, she ends up seeing that we're not that different. And that's what Queen Orihime is doing. And so I like how when Fukaboshi breaks it down, he says, like, with Hody Jones, he's holding on to that. Because when you hold on to something that happened from long ago, eventually with every new generation, you get further and further away from it. And so for a character like Hody Jones, you can bet your ass that, yeah, he is living in fear of that. Because this new generation, they don't know about Tiger. They hear it. That's why I used the Michael Jordan thing. Like, Generation Z hears about Michael Jordan, but they don't know Michael Jordan. They barely remember Kobe, but they know LeBron. They know what's right here and there. And when you have Neptune and you have Fukaboshi and Shirahoshi, you have this opportunity to continue building on something positive. So I like how Oda continued to hammer that in. And also, when the chapter opened up, everything went full circle. The ending of the chapter and the beginning of the chapter. Nico Robin. Let's look at what she has to say. Nico Robin's human. She frees the fishmen. They say, human, why did you save us? And she says, I can't ignore the request of a handsome man. Jinbi. She could have easily said, I can't ignore the request of a handsome fishman. But she said, man. Because she's saying, you're no different than me. You have a human calling, and I know she didn't, she's probably joking around and everything. But then again, it is Nico Robin, you know, see, like, Nami get like the best of the best, right? Nico Robin gotta go for like the scruffy bottom of the barrel brothers. That's what Nico Robin gotta go for. Like, Nico Robin is the cum bucket, right? But that's, oh man, that's messed up. But even I gotta say, that went too far with the trolling, man. But it's not on the real though, right? On the real. Let's just stay on subject for a second. So the beautiful thing on that is, you have this attractive woman looking at one of the most renowned fishmen and saying, he's a handsome guy. I'm working with him. Human, fishman, the connection. human frees the fishman. The fishmen take the opportunity with it. And then as the chapter progresses, you have the fishmen saying, I can't believe this human is actually working with the princess. I thought he was the kidnapper. Was I wrong with him? Is he doing something for us? Noah, the ship, leaving Fishman Island, the prophecy that Luffy will bring ruin to Fishman Island so much. And I'm wondering if maybe what Charlie saw wasn't necessarily the actual destruction of Fishman Island so much as Luffy being the catalyst to destroy Fishman Island as we know it, but because there's a battlefield and everything going on, because Luffy is like a bull in a china shop, it's going to be so much chaos all over the place. I'm wondering if maybe that's what it was. She saw this and she saw the aftermath, and maybe saw the Fishman Luffy's probably going to crash this fucking ship in the Fishman Island and destroy this shit. And the Fishman got to take their ass out of here. I don't know how the Straw Hats maybe get out, but maybe because those wounds have been closed, maybe some of the fishmen can help the Straw Hats, the humans, get their ass up to the surface. I think that'd be a good way to kind of turn the page. But I think Oda's foreshadowing here. Luffy, he's going to use that ship. He's going to destroy the ship. He's going to destroy Fishman Island. That's going to be that. And it makes so much sense because right now we're on the doorstep to a new world. What better way to let the other emperors know, to let the other warlords know, to let the world government know, as well as the other rookies who have made a name for themselves in the past 3 years, to let them know, like, hey, Straw Hat Luffy's here, bitch. He's taking names. This is that shit. I don't care if this is on the protection of one of the 4 emperors. I just fucked this shit up. Straw Hat Luffy's in this bitch. Like, I could see Oda maybe going in that direction. The only reason why I'm saying maybe is this was Hiro Mashima. I could totally see it because you could just picture... Well, nah, I can't even say that because Luffy fucked up Arlong Park. And with Arlong Park, Arlong Park was looking very fucking similar to... Shit, what was it? At Sayabody, the little mermaid thingy, fuck the amusement park, that shit. Very similar. Luffy just fucked all that shit up. And now you got Fishman Island, the birthplace of Arlong, basically, the divide with human and fishman. And because I think that Luffy's King of the Pirate message is going to be about adventure and people getting along. Destroy the whole fucking island where all these bad memories of bloodshed and the queen dying and the hatred towards human, just get rid of all that shit. Like, delete all that shit. Like, delete all of it. Like, that's what Luffy... I think that's Luffy's message. I think that's what Luffy's going to do at this point. And I think that's why you had the king just having that ominous look. And so, with that being said, I don't want to, kind of stay on this too much because I feel like this is one of those things where it's just like, maybe this is what's going to happen and maybe... I could be completely wrong. So I don't want to hammer too much onto this. You just guys know because I'm kind of catching up. I get to certain things. It's just like, oh shit, is this gonna happen? Is this gonna happen? I don't know what the fuck's going on, and because I cut the camera on and I just talk to you guys right after I read, it's just like it isn't completely well thought out. Stream of consciousness and whatnot. But I mean that's something I feel is kind of being set up. I think Luffy's going to crash that shit in there. And I think that's why we're seeing all the Straw Hats get an opportunity to show their abilities. And I like how with Usopp, right? Usopp tripped me the fuck out in this chapter, right? Usopp tripped me out. This dude before would be like, yeah, dude, I already finished, y'all. I planned this battle from the very beginning. I planned the last 10,000 maneuvers that you would do. And it's because I've been secretly watching you from the last 3 years. We didn't leave Sayabody because of Kizaru and all that. Luffy was attacking Marineford to give me time to spy on you. Usopp just spin a web of lies, right? He actually tells the fucking truth. He says, nah, look, everybody's showing what they can do. I can't be left out. I'll snipe your ass out in the next 3 or 4 moves. And it's just like, I'm like, where's the punchline? And Usopp says, wow, I really have changed. I would have told a real whopper last time. I'm like, oh shit, Usopp's improved that much. To where, yeah, he's been shooting and missing, but he's been laying traps. This is good. I like this. I like this. You didn't see Usopp kind of mix it up in the same way that Nico Robin did. That was pretty fucking impressive. And I like the fact that we see her and she's using those different hands and she's snapping the dude up and putting him in strangleholds and just grappling and everything. I love it. And she's got that like illusion thing going. I don't know what the fuck that's about. But at the same time, I don't know what that's about. I can't even theorize what that is unless I miss something. If I miss something, explain it to me. You know, what's the whole thing where she's looks like she's got like a clone and then that shit disappears. Maybe it's a mirage or something, and she's able to use that. But at the same time, it looked like there were two Nico Robins kind of grappling down on this guy. So I'm not sure what that is, but that's something that could be really hacks. And I mean, the fact that she's doing shit like this lets me know maybe Oda's going to explore what we saw when she was a part of Baroque Works, because if I'm not mistaken, you know, she was, you know, supposed to have assassination skills, and at the very least, because she's got those hands and everything, she's got the ability to, you know, do some espionage and some sabotage and everything. So I mean, this is interesting in the fact that we see Nico Robin, you know, mixing it up like we did. I love that. I really love that. And the other thing that I really liked out of all of this is the fact that it looks like maybe Nico Robin overcame her weakness, because with her hands, I mean, if you just poke Nico Robin's hands and, you know, made her bleed, you know, she'd feel it. You know, that's like the one drawback on it. So it looks like she maybe overcame that. And same time, you know, I mean, she's probably just fodderizing this dude. So I mean, you never know. You never know. I might be giving her too much credit, but I did love her fight. I'll even go as far as to say this: out of all the Straw Hat interactions, like fights that we've seen, Luffy, you know, being pulled out, right? Because I feel like Hody Jones and Luffy, a lot of that's happening off panel, so I gotta wait to see. And I'll take Zoro with that twister that he did, and I'll take Nico Robin here. The reason I'll take Nico Robin here is because, I mean, it just says something when you can just completely humiliate your opponent in this way. Like, Nico Robin wasn't kind of goofing off like Frankie. She wasn't cracking jokes like Brook was in this fight, where Brook is just like, ha, this is how I really get my soul. This is how my soul really lives. This is how my revived fruit really works. Oh, look at that. My sword stabbed you. You didn't really harm my sword, because he's fighting the dude that is completely full of shit like Brook is. And that's a comical fight. But Nico Robin is just humiliating this guy. She takes the keys from him, and then she proceeds to lay the smackdown or a bar line from the rock. Like, she put boots to asses, and then she pulled a page out of Vince McMahon's book, pulled down her pants, and said, "Kiss my ass." I love it. I love it. I love it. Matter of fact, I'm going to go a little further with this, right? Because I'm an attitude era, baby. She was doing some Ken Shamrock type shit. Like, she's grappling with this dude, and she's getting ready to make his ass tap out. This was beautiful. I love to see more Nico Robin fights like this, to where Nico Robin, when she shows up, she just completely brutalizes who she fights. I don't want anything flashy. I don't want wings and shit sprouting out like they did, I think, in Water 7, was it? Or was it, no, it wasn't Water 7, because it was Oars, like the whole fight with Oars and Thriller Bark. That's when she used those wings to save Frankie. So I don't want to see shit like that. I want to see where Nico Robin is just beasting through this. And in fact, I would like to see Zoro beast. Like, we saw him, you know, off panel Hody Jones for the most part. Like, it's like they're underwater, some shit kind of happens, we see a little bit of moves, and then it's like, oh shit, Hody Jones is unconscious. Now, I want to see Zoro just brutalize these guys. Like, it's like some Rurouni Kenshin stuff where you don't even use this whole sword. He just got it in the sheath and just brutalizes them. So, my chapter question, you guys, is how impressed were you with what Fukaboshi said? Do you think that he's on to something? Do you think that Hody Jones is a product of, you know, just being around hatred? Do you think Hody Jones misunderstood Tiger's message and what Tiger was really doing? Or do you think that Hody Jones, and this is the most important thing, do you think that Hody Jones is a redeemable character? Because this is a common thing in shonens, and Oda has played with it a little bit. Villains can be redeemed. That's the main thing. Like, in most shonens, especially the ones that they're in Shonen Jump, you redeem the hero. So, I mean, the villain. So, do you think Hody Jones could be redeemed at some point? I personally love the idea of him symbolizing that part of our population that continues to hold on to I like to call them the old world ideals. They hold on to the ideals of what happened in the time when my mom was Was my mom even born in the Civil Rights Era? I think she was a little after that. Anyway, like, during that time period, right? Like, I like the idea of Hody Jones symbolizing that, because the sad reality is, you know, hatred and discrimination never is going to fully go away. But at the same time, this new generation continues to step up little by little and snuff it out little by little. It's not going to go away anytime soon, because you'll have people like that, but there's always hope. Where there's darkness, the light rises up to meet it. So I love what Oda's doing here. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, oh shit, one more thing, hold on. Because YouTube's algorithm is being so funny, right? I can't use the word I wanted to use when I first read the stuff about Hody Jones, because what popped in my head is a word that starts with a D, and not D, a J. I'm gonna say that it rhymes with Mihad, but that's what that reminds me of, because it's a war that there's some other stuff behind it, but at the same time, what we know it as, there's a lot of similarities in that. I mean, there's some differences, and the reason I say there's some differences is because I've been able to speak to some people that's their religion, not necessarily the Mihad thing, because that's not a religion. But I've been able to speak to some people that practice that whole thing, and they kind of broke down for me, like, hey, this is what this is. This is what this literally means. This is what we believe. This is what they believe. This is what this word means. This isn't exactly as painted in the media. I mean, it taught me a bunch of shit. You know, like, I can't say it here because, again, the algorithm's so fucking funny. If I use it, if I put that shit up on the screen, my video, my channel, all that shit's gonna go into like the YouTube darknet. You're not gonna fucking find that shit. And the reason why I know that is I did that shit on another video. I have this shit hidden now, and I did that, and I just kind of put it up, and I set the line in passing, and I put it on private just to see what would happen. And this is the thing, because I used that one line in that video, the algorithm flagged it. And because one of my favorite channels uses the whole religion stuff when he talks about Star Wars and everything, he saw a huge issue with this shit, based on the fact that he used that to describe Kylo Ren and the whole thing with the Sith. So I'm not going to do that. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching in the video, guys. Have an